WDAM, Laurel, Hattiesburg. You're watching News 7 Weekend Night Beat. You've got 7 on your side.
A Jones County teen is airlifted after a one-vehicle accident. And Hattiesburg police arrest 2 men they believe vandalized the America building. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Vanessa Pacheco. Those stories in a moment, but first, a California coroner has identified the 2 victims in that horrible plane crash landing at San Francisco's International Airport. There are 16-year-old girls from China, but over 300 people survived, nothing short of a miracle. Brandy Hitt has more in tonight's top story.
Survivors of the crash landing in San Francisco are reliving the horror.
In your head, everything goes into slow motion and you just don't believe it's happening.
Were you scared or are you?
Oh yeah, we all were. The moment we heard that loud bang and, we were pretty sure that, something has gone wrong.
What went wrong was the plane packed with more than 300 people apparently hit the breakwater just a few feet ahead of the runway.
If they'd had an additional 10 feet, I think they probably would have made it.
But instead, the Asiana Airlines jet slammed onto the concrete. The tail section broke off. And once the plane skidded to a stop, terrified passengers tried to run to safety.
It was disbelief, screaming, a bit of chaos, but I think we managed to get everybody to calm down pretty quickly and really started getting out and not pushing each other, not stepping on each other. And so it felt like it went really fast.
While the passengers and crew slid down the chutes, firefighters sprayed foam on the burning jet as first responders took care of the injured.
A lot of people have broken ribs, bruised ribs, spine injuries. Maybe some people, hopefully can walk again. Some broken bones.
We had a total of 182 people transported to area hospitals. The 2 fatalities were found on scene, exterior of the plane.
National Transportation Safety Board officials have isolated the crash site as they now try to figure out what went wrong.
This process can take as long as it needs to. We expect to be on scene for about a week, and then we will continue to work on the investigation.
Here at home, a 19-year-old Jones County female was airlifted to Forest General Hospital after being critically injured in a one-vehicle rollover accident early this morning. At approximately 10:30 a.m., medical first responders and rescue units responded to the accident, which occurred approximately 5 miles west of Ellisville on Highway 588. Upon arrival, the first responders found a 1998 Nissan Maxima on its roof with a young female driver trapped under the vehicle. According to officials on scene, the rain-slick highway may have played a factor in the accident, where the teenager's vehicle apparently left the road, hitting an embankment and flipping over onto its roof. The accident remains under investigation by the Mississippi Highway Patrol. A Crime Stopper tip has led to the arrest of 2 men who authorities believe vandalized a recently reopened America building in downtown Hattiesburg. Hattiesburg police arrested 22-year-old Hunter Wayne Martin and 20-year-old Jamari DeAndre Gower at 2 separate Hub City residences. They are facing vandalism-related charges. Police say the 2 suspects, thought to be the men in the surveillance video, allegedly caused thousands of dollars worth of flood damage to the first floor of the building when they set off its sprinkler system around 4:30 a.m. Friday. Officers say they had entered the building after climbing a fire escape. In other Mississippi news, 2 New Orleans firefighters are dead after fatal car crash in South Mississippi. According to Harrison County Coroner Gary Hargrove, a truck driven by 28-year-old Tommy Ashby was heading westbound on Highway 90 at a high rate of speed when the driver lost control and hit a tree near the intersection of Beach Park Drive in Long Beach. Police were called to the scene around 1:45 this morning. Both Ashby and passenger 27-year-old Scott Blanchard were declared dead on the scene. Both men work for the New Orleans Fire Department. Authorities say neither was wearing a seat belt. 2 other passengers were transported to the hospital with injuries. It's typical on holiday weeks to see more traffic and accidents. But according to Mississippi Highway Patrol, this holiday weekend was especially busy. There have been 7,500 citations issued statewide during the enforcement period that started Wednesday evening. 250 of those were DUIs. There were 4 fatalities in the state due to traffic accidents. And with these numbers comes an increase in traffic. Accidents had traffic backed up for miles, and a lot of serious accidents led to sudden traffic jams, which led to more minor accidents. Officials with Mississippi Highway Patrol say the influx in numbers during the July 4th holiday can be attributed to a number of things. Mississippi's controversial open carry law heads back to court tomorrow. Hinds County Circuit Judge Winston Kidd will hear arguments about whether to extend his temporary order that blocked the open carry gun law from taking effect July 1st. Supporters of House Bill 2 say the law isn't a change to the rules, it's merely a clarification. Currently, under the Mississippi Constitution, people are allowed to carry unconcealed firearms without a permit, but because placing a firearm in a holster partially conceals a weapon, a concealed carry permit is required. The new law would eliminate that exception, allowing people to carry holster guns on their hips. Here in the Pine Belt, the ground rules for Hattiesburg Election Challenge are expected to be laid out tomorrow. Specially appointed Judge Williams Coleman will meet with attorneys for Mayor Johnny Dupree and challenger Dave Ware to discuss the upcoming jury trial. Dupree won by 37 votes, but Ware wants more than half the absentee ballots thrown out because of irregularities. The trial is set for July 23rd. Also challenging the election outcome is candidate Nathan Jordan, who claims the names of some candidates were left off the ballot of several precincts. Still to come, a train derailment sparks major fire in Quebec, Canada. That story up next.
WDAM values your viewership and the long relationship we've enjoyed here in the Pine Belt. We've stood together during times of celebration and times of tragedy like Hurricane Katrina and our February tornado. We are your first alert for breaking news and severe weather, a responsibility and trust we don't take lightly. Raycom Media, our parent company, is currently negotiating in good faith with Dish Network to reach a signal carriage agreement in the hopes we're not dropped from their service. Call Dish Network and let them know you don't want to lose WDAM from your system service.
We're going to turn now to the other deadly accident making headlines this weekend. This one in Canada, just across the border from Maine. A devastating derailment of a 72-car-long train filled with crude oil that exploded into an inferno of flames. Gio Benitez has the latest details from the scene.
Overnight, a desperate search for the missing in a small town ravaged by back-to-back explosions. This is the eerie aftermath captured by local firefighters. The billowing flames Saturday morning ignited when an unmanned cargo train with 72 tankers of crude oil reportedly became unhatched, moved downhill into the town, and derailed.
We see those big tank cars and it's like, okay, when is it gonna happen, you know? When is this catastrophe gonna happen? And it happened. It happened. It was crazy.
Locals say a nearby bar was packed with people when the explosion started at 1 a.m. Saturday. Nobody knows if those people are still alive.
Of course, we don't want to panic anyone in the sense that some of the people might just have been out of town and unreachable, but obviously we're trying to ascertain as soon as possible how many people are actually missing.
This is your town, that's why you're emotional.
Yeah, I was born and raised here. I teach here at the high school. My aunt, her house is burned down. She's 93. She didn't have time to get out of there.
This morning, the concern for the entire area is over the quality of the air and water. Much of the oil from the tankers has leaked into rivers and lakes.
We just can't wait for this leaking and this fire that's still going on to be under control so we can work on the recovery phase instead of being in the intervention phase.
And right now, up to 100 people could still be missing. And while there's only one confirmed death, officials fear there could be many more here.
Welcome back and a happy Sunday to you. I'm meteorologist Megan Hodge. Now at Petro Nissan, they received just over a 1/4 inch of rainfall today, but take a look. It looks like things are drying out quite nicely. A lovely image there on our Alpha Insurance Skycam. Now, if you are out and about today, you probably noticed those scattered showers. Hopefully you had that umbrella with you, but that did keep our temperatures on the lower side of things. Really struggled to make it out of the lower 80s. 83 is what we topped out at, almost 10 degrees below what we would expect for this first week in July. Currently, though, we'll talk a few numbers in Hattiesburg. A nice light breeze out there from the north at about 3 miles per hour, keeping things nice and comfortable out there. 74 degrees and feeling every one of them. So a really pleasant evening in store for us. Now as we step outside and take a look at temperatures around the region, looking fairly uniform. 74 Hattiesburg, 75 in Collins, 77 there, our warm spot in Wiggins, and then we have 75 there in Leakesville. Now as we take a look on our Southern Pine electric power radar, most of the storms have pushed their way out of our area, really have fizzled out this evening. A pretty clear scan for much of the area. But as we head throughout the next couple of days, a clear scan is not what we'll be seeing. We will be seeing more of the wet stuff, more scattered storms out there right around lunchtime tomorrow and in through the late afternoon hours. We're going to be seeing those storms and showers pop up and work their way across the Pine Belt. And then on Tuesday, a little bit lower chance for rain, but still a good shot for some showers out there. And pretty much the same story as we head on into Wednesday. Now we're going to take a little bit of an adventure out there into the Atlantic. I mentioned a few minutes ago that the National Hurricane Center has just named this tropical storm here. Tropical Storm Chantal is the name, and currently with winds at about 40 miles per hour according to this last advisory. This storm really moving westward at a very brisk pace, currently moving at 26 miles per hour. There it is with a pressure of 1,008 millibars. Now we have our spaghetti models here, named that of course because, well, they look like spaghetti. I'll get out of the way here and let you get a little look at these. It looks like this storm is still over 1,000 miles away from the Windward Islands, making its way westward. So it's going to impact that area, dumping plenty of rainfall early Tuesday morning. Then as we head throughout the next couple of days, a pretty wide range here in terms of our models. So not a whole lot of certainty at this point. We're still pretty far out to know exactly where the storm is going, but we will of course keep you updated as things develop. This evening, though, back here at home, just a few clouds out there, 70 degrees, so really a nice evening out there. Maybe not the best to do some stargazing because, of course, we will have some clouds out there. But tomorrow, slight chance for some isolated showers in the morning. We're really going to increase those chances, though, as we head toward the 4 o'clock hour with a high temperature right around 89 degrees. And more rain in the forecast, though, as we head throughout the next couple of days. There's your 7-day rain chances decreasing, but it looks like those temperatures will be on the rise, and now we're going to send it back on over to the desk.
Thank you, Megan. Well, we continue to increase breast cancer awareness the 7th of each month. Stay tuned. A Pink Up special report is up next. According to the American Cancer Society, breast cancer is the most common cancer among women in the United States. But here in the Pine Belt, there's a group of women who offer something unique to lift the spirits of those affected by breast cancer near and far. Carrie Leggett-Brown has more.
This Pink Up special report is sponsored by Ken's Noble and Laurel.
Hi, we're here at 28th Place at Hattiesburg Clinic, and joining me now is Susan Yarrow with the Hattiesburg Clinic. And Ms. Yarrow, you're going to tell us a little bit about the Breast Cancer Awareness Committee and all the fundraising that they do for breast cancer patients and patients with cancer.
Right. We have a committee here at the clinic. We have several causes that we support, and one of them is breast cancer. We have a committee of 13 members and a chairperson, Jennifer Wally, who organizes 2 fundraisers to help the Pink Ribbon Fund. All the money that we raise goes directly to the Pink Ribbon Fund, which in turn helps our patients. They help our patients with their medical bills, they help with prosthesis, they help with wigs, they help pay for mammograms. So we felt that that was a cause that was near and dear to us because we provide care for these women, so we wanted to help the Pink Ribbon Fund further by helping them monetarily.
And just tell me about I believe there's 2 fundraisers that help with the Pink Ribbon Fund, correct?
Right. This year we traditionally have a T-shirt drive, and our T-shirts are worn on a particular Friday in October in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And we're also selling some cutlery, the RADA cutlery this year to raise money and go towards Pink Ribbon.
Okay, and you also have some ladies here that also help you guys in a very special way, so talk to me about them.
I do. These ladies behind me over here are the Mad Love Hatters group. One day I received a call from Debbie Lachey, and she had a group of friends. They were high school friends, and they had gotten together to knit some hats. She had some hats, and she wanted to know if we could use these for our cancer patients. So Debbie came up, and we met, and we talked about it, and we decided that, yes, we could use them. We would take them to our oncology units and let our patients who are receiving chemotherapy get a hat and, you know, hopefully comfort them and keep them warm. Well, they had limited yarn that they could use to make these hats, so we decided to have a yarn drive at the clinic, and our employees could donate a skein of yarn, and in turn they get a Pride Point. And Pride Points are things that our employees collect, and they can redeem for vacation days or money or whatever. And we had overwhelming response with this drive. We've collected yarn now 3 times, and we've given the women the yarn, and they have made over 750 hats. So these hats have gone to our oncology units, and the last couple of times they made some hats for some smaller folks. And I gave some to Forest General, but I had a lot of hats, so we sent them to St. Jude's. Okay. And the kids at St. Jude's loved them.
Okay, and for people that want more information about this, about the Mad Love Hatters, you can actually go to their Facebook page and just look them up on Facebook at Mad Love Hatters.
1 in 8 women in the United States will develop breast cancer. I'm Kim Hobbs with Kim's Toyota, and we're proud to join forces with WDAM to increase awareness of this disease. On the 7th of each month, all WDAM news anchors will wear pink, and stories addressing breast cancer awareness will be featured. Kim's Toyota urges everyone in the Pine Belt to Pink Up!
Pink Up for Breast Cancer Awareness is sponsored by Kim's No Bull in Laurel. For more information, go to Pink Up on WDAM.com.
Coming up in sports, highlights from the Braves and Phillies and an update on the Mississippi Deep Sea Fishing Rodeo. Saturday wrapped up the 3rd day of the Mississippi Deep Sea Fishing Rodeo, and despite the rain, there was still enough fishing to be done out in the Gulf. The big catch Friday was by Gulfport's Michael McDermott, who reeled in a 220-pound swordfish. There was a bit of a surprise yesterday when Ocean Springs native Mark Allen Ross caught a 24.5-pound barracuda, and the Kids Day as well. It was Kids Day as well, a special time for the youngsters in the area who wanted to try their hands at pulling in a big catch too. Now over to the NFL, long lines of Patriots fans traded in their Aaron Hernandez jerseys at the New England Patriots Pro Shop on Saturday in Foxborough, Massachusetts. The Patriots announced last week that it would be offering a free jersey exchange for any fans looking to get rid of their number 81 jerseys. The 23-year-old was charged with murder last month and remains under investigation for an unsolved double murder last July. All other Hernandez memorabilia were taken off the team's website and pulled from the shelves shortly after the team released him. Now over to the MLB. For the 2nd straight year, former Ole Miss pitcher Lance Lynn is having an incredible start to the season. Today, Lynn went 7 innings, giving up just 2 runs and striking out 7 as the Cardinals won 3-2. Lynn is now 11-3, tied for 2nd most wins in the National League. Now, Atlanta on the road in Philly. Man on first for the Phillies, Dominic Brown, who rips this one down the right field line. Chase Utley comes around to score as Brown winds up with the triple, 1-0 for them early. Bottom 4 now, Phillies up 2-0. Ben Revere lines this one to the gap in left center. Delman Young and Darren Ruff come around as Revere ends up on 3rd as well. 4-0 for the Phillies. Bottom 5 now, Chris Medlin dealing for the Braves, and Dominic Brown with the solo blast to right field, his 23rd of the season. Phillies go on to win this one 7-3. Now over to London. All of Great Britain tuning in today to see if after 77 years, Andy Murray could finally deliver them a title. Murray wins the first set 6-4, but Djokovic up 4-1 in the second set. The ball looks like it goes out, but Djokovic is out of challenge, and from there, momentum goes Murray's way. He wins the second set 7-5 and holds off Djokovic with this nice little volley. In the third set, though, Djokovic determined not to go down quietly. He would face off fare off 3 championship points, including this nice little volley at the net. But Andy Murray, not to be denied, he would go on to win in straight sets, 6'4", 75'6'4".
I'm just relieved to have won that match, especially after the way the last game went. It was just a crazy last game, but I think when I get to take a step back over the next couple of days and sort of relax and think about what I did today, I'll realize it was a big day in our sport.
The first running of the bulls of this year's San Fermin Festival took place today. Several thousand thrill seekers ran through the streets of Pamplona, Spain, alongside 6 bulls. Despite the large number of runners, only 2 people were treated for injuries and no one was gored. A Red Cross spokeswoman said one person was taken to the hospital with an injured left arm and another was treated for a dislocated shoulder. Today's 930-yard run took a relatively long 4 minutes and 6 seconds due to delay caused by the last bull. Well, that was interesting.
I definitely would not want to do that.
Well, thank you for joining us. That's it for the Night Beat.